Hi everyone, welcome to Stamp On It. My name is Sharon and I'm going to be your instructor today. On today's tutorial we are going to be working with our double embossed stickers. And what they are stickers that have double embossing. So if you kind of can see, there's a real thin foiling line of gold, but then if you look again, there's another set of foiling on top. So that's where they get the double embossed. It is all on a transparent sheet. So that allows you to color from either the front or the back. And so we are going to be doing a few techniques using this product today. Well then, let's begin. The technique that I'm going to be showing you today is, one of them is going to be creating this card right here. And what I chose on this, believe it or not, are two colors in our alcohol markers, our craft markers, that no one ever touches, and that's the black and the light brown. It's two of those colors that they think can never be used. But when you look at this, it really has an elegant look about it. So I am going to get started on how to do this. Ahead of time, I have taken let me get them turned around here. Two of the butterflies, and I already put the Moondust crystal glitter on the back. I peeled them off from the sheet and I put the Moondust on the back. Then on one of them I have already colored in, and as you'll see, that's really looks not all that great, but when you turn it over, that's when you see the beauty. So then what I'm going to do is, I think I pulled this one off, so I'm going to pull that off and I'm going to coat it in our Moondust crystal glitter. We also have these wonderful brushes. They are anti-static brush. They are made out of goat hair, and so it just has natural anti-static properties, and that gets all the excess off the back. So then what I do is, you're going to take your Copic, let's turn it this way, your Copic blender pen, and this is the one that I recommend. I don't recommend any of the other ones, so this is the one that we carry, is this particular Copic, and we use basically the blunt end. We don't use the end here, the chisel tip. So, and then what I like to have is a piece of paper along the side, because you always consider that your blender pen is dirty. And I think I will retell you that our craft alcohol markers are non-refillable, but we've had them for well over 2 years or more, and none of them have gone dry. Just so long as you never leave the cap off all the time. Whenever you're done, just put the cap back on. I put it on in between all the time. We do sell refills to the blender pen, but we don't sell refills to these. They don't make them. So I'm going to show you how we do this. So all I do is apply some color, and I do use my finger a little bit for blending. Then I take this blender pen and I start to bring it out right on top of that glitter. Then I'm going to bring some onto this side. That one didn't blend as much. If you find that you have a defined line that you want to try and get rid of, which can happen, you just kind of go in a circular motion around, and that helps to get rid of those strong, harsh lines that you may get from scratching the color on. Now we're going to go to this color, just the lighter brown. There is a darker brown, but we're using this lighter brown. Remember, everything is dirty, and then I'm just going to start to blend this in towards the black. You know, when you look at it from the back, it really doesn't look like much of anything. But when you turn it over, that's when you'll see the magic. Sometimes periodically I turn it over and look at it and say, well, there's not much brown on there. So then I'll come in with a little bit more brown. You can always add more, but it's really hard to take any away. And what happens is sometimes when you work on this quite a bit, you can almost remove, because this is super fine. And if you feel that that's happening, all you have to do is just put some more glitter on and it's back. So if you find that you feel a stickiness, that's what you want to do. So we're going to finish this out. And he may fast forward through some of this, especially when I start doing the other one, so that you don't have to sit here and watch me color all this in. Okay, so as you can see, I now have all three colored in. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in our borders that we have. And if you'll notice on the sample that there are actually two different borders. They come from the same package border strip, because there's always a thing that I tell everybody is that don't neglect the what I call the waist. I guess this one has not been opened, so I will open this one up. So when I pull off this first border strip, and then I take my overlay, and there's one thing that I like to do is I like to have my overlay be the same pattern on both ends, if at all possible. At least somewhere's close. So if you'll see, it's kind of going to be a match. That's just the one OCD thing that I like to do. Sometimes I'll save these and sometimes I don't. This little one right here I probably will not save. Then I'm going to take the second border. We'll take this one, and I'm going to do the same thing on this part, trying to match up the pattern. Get that a little straighter. And I'm going to cut this off. As you'll see, I picked some of this up with our pokey tool or needle tool. We have those on our website. It's a really nice tool. All right, when you're done pulling off those, you'll see this. This is what they call like the waist, but it's so pretty that that is what I used here. So that's what I'm going to put on here. Did I get really good about that? Yeah, I did. All right. Snip this. Let's hope this is enough for this one. Let's get it a little bit closer. So then we have this. So all I'm going to do is attach this now, and I'm going to show you a very fun way, an easy way of attaching your items to your card. And I do this for all of them. I never cut with scissors. It's not that it's wrong or bad, it's just, I just know that this tape tears easily. And so I just bring it all the way around. And then what I do is I peel back, going from the side, I peel back a portion, whoops, and then I press it down. This is real sticky tape, by the way. Then I go to the opposing corner and I do the same thing. I peel it back. That way then, when I am placing it down, the two sides here can touch, and I can maneuver this around to get this positioned equally before I press these corners down. Once those corners are down, it's in place. Then all you do is slide these off, and your whole piece is attached. Then all I do is I take some glue drops, and I use our poke tool, needle tool. Well, let's get my fingers here right. And I'm going to place one behind here. I might place, they're really, really sticky. They're really nice. Glitter goes on these beautifully. I think I'm going to place a couple of those on. And then I'm just going to set it, which helps give it a little bit of dimension. And then a lot of times what I do is I will fold up the edges so that it kind of gives a crease and allows it to stay upright. And we'll go ahead, and you can also use a liquid glue on these to attach them if you wanted. Now let's put two. They're so little and not very expensive, so let's just put this there. Then we have our nice happy birthday word. Now I am going to have to turn this around because I won't be able to do this without it. So I'm just loosening this up with the needle tool, lifting this up. Then what you do is, I got a little stuck there, but I'm going to get that one out because it's crossways. Okay. So I'm licking my finger, which I know sounds really horrible, but I'm licking my finger, and then the sticker does not stick to you. It will stick to the paper, but it doesn't stick to your fingers. And that way then you're not fighting with this thing and getting it all twisted. All right, I'm going to put on the last one. Shush. They are sticky. And there you go. Very fast, simple card. Once you get the hang of coloring in and blending with the alcohol markers, you know, just don't be afraid of the black and the brown. The next card that I'm going to do for the tutorial is this. It is still using our double embossed stickers, but this time I am applying color on the front of the sticker. And I'm going to be using the candles from this set, as I did there. And then from this set, I will be using the trees on the outside. And then we also will be using this border. Okay? We're also using our 65-pound vellum, which is a wonderful vellum. We sell it in 8.5 by 11 sheets, so you'll want to look on the website for that. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do, which sounds maybe a little backwards to some people, but I want to show you how I put the trees on. The trees are not totally on the overlay, if you'll see. So I started with one up in this area. So let's see if I can get that put on there reasonably straight. No, that's really crooked. Okay, let's try this again. Let's get this out from underneath there. Now you have to be careful because, as you see, part of it is hanging off the edge. So what I do is I bring in our crystal Moondust and I just apply glitter to the back. That way then this is no longer sticky. It's not going to be a problem for me at all in the rest of making of this card. So then I'm going to get another tree. And they are sold like this. You get 5 trees, packages, and Christmas bells and balls. So we're gonna take this and let's put this here. Have to be a little careful. Then we're gonna take another one. Oops, getting the tree part. And let's see, let's put this somewhere. You gotta make sure you get them straight. Okay, so I'm gonna put glitter on the back of these now. You can use your anti-static brush. Then I'm going to take our piece of vellum. And a lot of times what I like to do is kind of lay this over so I kind of can eyeball where I'm going to place this, roughly. Because of the trees taking up a decent space in here, you want to position it so you can see most of it through there. And because it's vellum, we can shift this around however we want. So far it's like this. Now I like to color these in separate, not while they're all attached. So I am going to use, in our craft alcohol markers, I'm going to use the red, the yellow, and the green to create this. Then we're having our blender pen. Same blender pen that we've been working with. Maybe I'll use this one. Trying to make sure the black is all off. Now you can color on the front side and the back side, and on this particular one I am going to be coloring both sides. Okay, let's see, let's put a little green on. All you need is just a little bit. You do not need to color the whole thing in. You just need to apply a little bit, and then the blender pen moves the alcohol ink around to fill in the areas. Sometimes you might even have enough left over that you can do the next one. It's a little faint, but we'll put a tiny bit more on here. I see a spot there I didn't get. Okay, so then we want the green off. Now we're going to go to, I think I'm going to go to the red. And I put the red right in here. And I'm just going to carefully move it along. If you feel you have too much, you can easily just take some off by cleaning off the tip of your blender pen. Then what I did is I put a little bit here. And I kind of drew this up. I think I need a little bit more on this one. Sometimes if you apply too much pressure, you can actually remove the color. So if that's the case, then just go back and add a little bit more. Now, at this point, I'm going to turn it over because I do want the back side of these candle parts to be darker, but yet not as bright as this color is. So by doing it on the back side of the vellum, when I turn it over, it's got a little bit more oomph to it. Now I can decide to leave it like that, or if you want, as in this, you'll see a little bit of yellow. What I did is from the back side, I made lines that came out, but I think maybe for this one, and then I blended them, I think maybe this one I will leave it more in the white. So now we will do the trees. So we're gonna go back to the green marker. Well, yeah, okay. So all I do is just put a little bit. You don't need much. And I always, you see, I always put the cap back on the markers. You do not want them to dry out. If they accidentally do, then just take your re-inker for the colorless blender, pull the tip off with a pair of pliers, and try to re-ink it. You might get lucky. You see, all I'm doing is adding little dots and then using the blender to move it around. And I'm not, you know, I feel I have a lot of color on here, so I might not even put any more on. I will just use the tip to move some along. All these things sometimes takes just a little practice if you're worried. You know, if you can't achieve all of this, you know, just always say to yourself, it's just paper. I have friends who have that mantra all the time. And that way then your fear is gone and you're more willing to give it a go. Let's see where items are. I'm looking at it upside down. See, I haven't had to put much more color on. It's still on the tip because this is a clear, transparent film that this is backing, so it tends to go quite a ways. Yeah, I think we're just about done. I used, in this particular border sheet, there are actually two different borders in here. One is in between the other two. And I do believe that this is the one that I used on here. So I'll place this down. They're both very pretty. But just so you know, when you get to some of these, you do want to pay attention to whether or not there is, I guess I call it an innie and an outie, because you've got the inside version and then the outer side version. So I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to go into here. All you have to do is lift it up to tell if you're pulling up the correct one. So I now have those on. Then I'm going to put double stick foam tape on there. Surprising, this foam tape tears beautifully. All right, so I'm going to take my card and I'm going to place this here. I'm I'm going to put this here so that I have it somewhat lined up so I kind of know where I want it to be. And I can pull this off. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll put a little pencil mark in the corners because this is not going to be shown. And that way then I kind of know where to place it back down. I use the same technique as before with removing the tapes. I hope a lot of you give this a try. A friend of mine and her daughter, Marjorie and Sherry, showed me how to do this. And it took me a while before I finally said, all right, I'm going to give it a try. And ever since I've tried it, I do it all the time. I find it, I make less mistakes of placing things down when I do this. Okay, just pay attention to where your fold is. And I always play with the two sides that aren't pulled back because there isn't any sticky there. So I can work at getting this all positioned where it needs to be, roughly, and then I press on those corners. Well, Sharon, let's angle it for us lefty. Yeah, as you all see, I am left-handed. That, of course, makes me in my right mind. I'm going to put the word on here before I get too far on. I'm going to use the poke tool, the needle tool. And like I say, you moisten your fingers. I don't think I'm going to have to do that on this, but you see I'm using the tool to guide where I need it. Then I just roll the tool to get it to come off, and it's all adhered. So now I am going to do this. I haven't tried it very much on this particular stuff, but we're going to give it a whirl. See if it works the same way. Alright, I'm going to have to turn it around to face me so that I can get these corners just the way I want them. Then I just press on those. And there we go. Very easy to do. Now this one has more of the yellow going outside like the light is shining, and then I decided to leave this one with the white so you could see the difference, so that you could decide which way you would like to do it. Now for the final technique, I'm not going to totally finish a card, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that you can even plump the double embossed. Normally when we do plumping, it's because of it's because we have openings. Okay, so I'm going to do this in gold this time. So if you see, there's the poinsettias are on there. Then I got a piece of our 65-pound vellum, and I'm going to pick off one of these poinsettias, and I'm going to have an oval overlay, and I'm going to have it going landscape. So what I do is I usually place this on there, and then I know where this needs to go. Hopefully that's pretty good on the tool. Then we have our plumping tools, and we have a plumping mat, but I'm actually working on a plumping mat. So I am going to move this paper, because this is a foam. You need it on a nice foam piece, and I am going to use just this one, I do believe. So what I'm going to do is, because I can see everything on here, I do like to burnish the sticker from the back side to start with, and then I'm going to use this large ball tip because I'm not trying to do any openings. I'm just trying to stretch and plump this whole entire sticker, because it has all that clear backing, transparent backing on this double embossed, that I'm just trying to plump the image, not trying to go into any specified openings. And what happens on the front is it does take on a little bit of white. If you can kind of see in between these areas, it's a little bit white. It's not as well defined, but I'm going to do a little bit more. I saw areas over here that didn't have much plumping. Then, as we do in our other tutorial, if you want to go back to some of our other videos, I take the 2 or 3 millimeter tip. This is a 3 millimeter tip, and I'm going to go all the way around the perimeter of this double embossed sticker. That helps to make it lay down a little bit, but also, believe it or not, it accents all that plumping. And if you could see it from the side, you will see that there is quite a ridge there. It is plumped quite a bit. I hope you can see that. Then what I did is I take the red alcohol marker and the green alcohol marker and the blender pen. And this one happens to be a different one. But so what I'm going to do is, you can color this just like we did before. I'm just putting a little bit of color on the petals of the poinsettia and just blending them out. Alright, I need a little bit here, a little bit here. I'm trying to do this so that you can see it. It's kind of hard for a lefty to do stuff upside down. There's a little bit over here. And I would say that that is pretty good. Then I would end up taking some more of these borders, which is what this is, and I would place them on here and put the word and finish this out on a card. And it would look really pretty. What a nice, easy, quick Christmas card that you could make for your family and friends. I hope you've all enjoyed this tutorial, and that you will subscribe and click the like button, share with friends, and let everyone know how much fun it is working with Stamp On It products. Thank you, and we'll see you again.